Yeah, man. All right. Looks like I'm live on YouTube. I don't got none of y'all on here watching me right now. So, um, all right, hang on just a minute, y'all. All right, I got everything set up now. Go undercover on y'all. Okay, so the title of this one was calling my name in the shower. So I got home from work, and this was after like hours and hours of in public at work attacking my genitals, literally attacking my genitals with broadcasts, like where I feel like just balling up and holding myself, but I can't do something like that because I'm in public. So, um, I just deal with it how I can deal with it, I guess. But I get home and I get in the shower, and then, one of the things that they do that you may not notice it, but you'll notice it after I tell you, is there will be like they'll use real sound, and it helps to disperse the artificial telepathy, right? So um, it's almost like hijacking of sound, like it hijacks a real sound to use the power from it. And you might notice like how you hear when if you're one of the people who are like targeted in that way, where they've started to use every aspect of neural monitoring, and as far as like um, artificial telepathy and broadcast torture and all of that, they'll use real sound, um, and it's like as a medium, and it's almost like the power of that can be used for the artificial telepathy sound. So you'll notice like you'll hear them way better through like water faucets running, or like electric motor, or traffic, wind, anything like that. They can use that to like power up their artificial telepathy, and you can hear them. It's not like you can hear them better. You can just hear them louder. And I'm in the shower, and I got this man, okay, this weirdo man gang stalker, just calling my name in the shower, Kevin. It's like he's so desperate for some attention. And it's very strange to me. And if I were to be like, "What, you idiot?" then he'd probably shut up because he don't really have anything to say. And it's like he's just trying so hard to get my attention. And it's like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. They used to talk about being on the machine all the time, and I talk about how they can get on a mind control headgear, and um, that allows them to receive your neurological processes in like an amplified way. But this like machine or whatever they're talking about, it's like not theorizing now, but it's like the same thing, but um, like with some voltage going through it, like the high powered home version, rather than the portable, like headgear thing that was just with like a little black box to clip on the belt or something. And like the home version is where they can get like really serious with it, and they start acting so um, delusional almost. And I really think the mind control, as far as like receiving and stuff, I think it messes up their mind. Um, but I'm gonna get to you guys if you got questions or anything like that. It could be like a Q&A. I know it's like the late night edition. Um, you can thank my gang stalkers for me doing like a lot of live streams lately, and the more that they get like at an unreasonable level where it's like really affecting my day every day with the broadcast attacks, the more I do videos and make a big fuss about it. And so, like the last maybe week or so, especially like the last 4 or 5 nights, they're just constantly attacking my genital area with broadcasts. And today it was like in public at work, um, just attacking me. And I'm gonna plug this thing in. Okay. Um, Sarah says, "Hey, did you get my comment?" Maybe. I really don't know. I get so many comments, but if you want to mention it here, then I'll be glad to reply right now. Um, but yeah, okay. Um, I really I do these videos more and more and more, like excessively, when they're getting irate about the type of attacks that they're doing. And it's like the middle of the night, and I just get back, so I'm on the laptop because it makes it easier to do these live streams. Didn't mean to delete that. Okay. um, yeah, I see it's 9 of you guys in here, the late night group. I would assume a lot of y'all are probably on the West Coast because it's so late back here on the East Coast. It's 4:30 in the morning here. So I've been doing like a semi night shift slash night shift position here lately. It kind of changes now and then, but it's 4:30. Yeah, East Coast is 4:30. Uh, yeah, calling my name in the shower, man. Kevin, Kevin. It's so weird, man. I don't know what in the world has gotten, like, it does something to them. The ones who really get serious about getting on mind control and like living as broadcasts and controlling broadcasts, and to them it's better than their normal life. And they get so serious. Like a lot of, like, you could take 20 people and give them like a hard drug, and there would be some percentage of them that would never ever stop doing that drug. They would be a junkie for life. And the mind control stuff is a lot like that. You have a certain few of them, once they get on it like that and start to feel that, um, to receive in a comprehensive way somebody else's thoughts, and they love it so much, like a drug. And people that do drugs, it's like they want to get to an elevated level, right? Or they some people just want to get wasted, but some people want to, like, explore a spiritual realm or something weird. Okay. And it's like some people seek that higher consciousness, and imagine connecting to somebody else and receiving their neurological processes in your mind in a comprehensive way, like you thought of it yourself. And that's what they're doing. And if you could find a person that thinks down the lines that you are interested in, and but yet they think better than you, and it's like sometimes I feel like they hate me because they wish that they had my mind. Or it's like they hate you, they love you. They love you because they found somebody that they can sit there and be obsessed and infatuated with forever, and just receive you and love it and get mind blown all day. And then at the same time bother you and turn on frequencies and screams. And they let off all these like girl sound screams. And it's like they set a voice setting for for their communications. Okay, and then sometimes I'll just think something and it'll just light one of them up. Yeah. And it's really annoying. It really is. Do you remember me? I remember the name, um, but I've talked to like thousands of people, so please forgive me if I don't remember exactly our conversation. But um, if you want to hit me up, yeah, feel free. I'm sure I will remember whatever. If I knew what we're talking about. Okay. Are you the one that I started, or we did the EMF broadcast photos group on Facebook? Um, Nehemiah says, I hope I got your name right. They can make you itch, right? I woke up at 3:30 by uh, an itching fit. Well, yeah, I guess so. This broadcast stuff, it feels like static almost when they're like moving around you on the surface. If they're not penetrated into you, when they are, it feels like an electric shock or something, or just like serious pain. Um, you can hit me up privately on the Sarah. You can hit me privately on if you're on Facebook. Just hit me up on the targeted individual group. Just message, and that goes to me. The targeted individual group that matches this channel. So if you go to the homepage on this channel, and you can click on the one of those icons that are in the background photo, and there's like the Facebook and the, I don't know, four or five little links right there. One of them goes to the targeted individual group on Facebook that matches this channel, and you can message me from there. Um, but yeah, the broadcast can make you itch. They like to move around on the surface, sometimes, and where it doesn't really hurt you, but it just bothers you a lot. And it's almost sometimes they make their goal is to bother you. But yeah, any waves or something like that is gonna be able to dry your skin out and cause irritation, especially if they're excessive with it. Um, um, yeah, I don't. I mean, I make 10,000 videos. Did we make it together? Did we make the video together? Uh, yeah, I think I do remember something like that. Um, Nehemiah says they mocked me using a bird showing its armpit itching, and then my armpit started itching. So I know they can control animals. They can control birds um, to some extent. I don't know, like, what the level of like mammals that they can control, but um, I've heard them like break a cricket before, just using its chirp, and then just like broke. Um, they used to like do this thing with the crickets where it would like they would add this frequency that resonated with the cricket, but it was like super high pitched. So it was just like a frequency attack, really. But they were also using the crickets at the same time as that. Um, Leo Murray says, "Cool." Um, yes, I don't know if I should like say you guys' full name when I call out your comment, or um, yeah, just 10 of you guys in here. I appreciate you guys watching. It was a really rough day at work as far as like just sitting there and like, I mean, it makes me want to get up and like, I'm trying to, like, I get very anxious to try to do something. It really makes me feel like the urge to defend myself. Like, I feel like I need to defend my life against these gang stalkers, and yet they're hiding away somewhere remotely. Um, I used to get the crickets all the time. Yeah, they love to mess with stuff like crickets. They can mess with birds too and their sounds, and I don't know like the extent of the control they can have over something like that, but they can definitely mess with their sound. Um, I don't think it's very ethical, when they start to do things like that. But then again, look at what they do to us. So it's pretty wild. Uh, but yeah, it's 9 of you guys left. If you got any questions or anything, I'm gonna stay on for just a few minutes here. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their deal is, man. It really gets exhausting, to just try to deal with them every single day, all the time. They really are psychopaths. Like people will call us schizos and all this different stuff, but like the other side of it, like these gang stalkers that sit there and love broadcasts and like broadcast artificial telepathy and being connected to people and using stupid voice settings and screaming and all this ridiculous stuff. So I just can't imagine how. I think they are like small minded, unintelligent types that get stuck on it. I mean, I've encountered gang stalkers and where they're doing their live streams and putting on like shows and stuff, and I've become way too involved with their narratives at times, especially back in the day when it was all new to me. But um, they're not all completely dumb, but the ones that aren't completely dumb, they get bored with sitting there, messing around with you, and they move on, and it might come back, every now and then or something. But nope, they don't come back anymore. Hardly nobody comes back anymore. There's the uh, three guys that are all the time, another guy that's about half the time, and then a couple other guys that they have on like the weekends or something like that. But the main couple of guys, I think they're like a family. They just stay on all the time. Yeah, they're definitely addicted to it. They're addicted to mind control like a drug, and it is like that's sort of the point I was making earlier. It is like a drug to them because it allows them to achieve um, a, a mental level, like a psychological level that they're not gifted with as they weren't born with that, and we're not all the same, and you can say whatever you want to, but we're definitely not all the same. There's some wild genius people out there, really, and there's some real idiots, and unfortunately, when the idiots get access to neural monitoring and they find somebody that they like, the way that their mind works, they won't go away. They're very addicted to it, and it is like a drug for them. Um, Working okay, yeah, working's good, man. They attack me at work, no matter where I work, no matter what state or city or wherever I'm working. It doesn't matter. They always attack and they always pay attention. The couple that are still here, the few that are still here, they always pay attention to everything. I can't have one single thought that, if it's anything significant about anything, I'll either get a reaction or a reply or some comment or something like that. It's always something, everything. Um, so yeah, I think I know when they're streaming a bunch of trucks with advertising passes by my vision. You want to talk about advertising? Neural monitoring is they advertise like if you they advertise through broadcast. Okay, so if you were to take a picture and uh, run it through your little editing software and like work on like the isolating certain frequencies and different um, mainly the frequencies are like the best thing, and there's a few other little settings that you can tweak on and you can start to see, and sometimes you'll see streams of letters and numbers. Sometimes it'll be just like a number where it's like a FTP file transfer or like some kind of IP address, and then sometimes you'll see a stream of letters, but it'll be like kind of graffiti-ish looking and difficult to read. Um, and those are advertisements. A lot of times they have like the Facebook F will be like one of the main things that I see a lot of in my edits. And um, that's because like with Facebook, they'll create an application. Okay, if you use like developers Facebook, and then you can create a custom application that has like the features and different things, and but they'll make it out of like our profile. Okay, and then they'll have that hosted on their own server at their like a computer. And any computer can be a server, by the way. It just matters how you configure it. So they'll host that app, and it'll be basically like a modified Facebook app of your with your profile, and they are hosting it on their own um, server at their house, like a local host or something. And then um, when they do live streams, and then they'll have gang stalkers that's where they'll stream it, and that's why you can't find it if you like go and search on Facebook. It's because you, first of all, to even find anything that's like local, like people around, um, which would basically be like the dark web. Like if I had a server set up and I only allowed like some people on it, or I didn't have it listed on Google or something like, and I've had a website where I had whatever I want on it and I hosted it right here on my computer, that's dark web. Okay, so this dark web's not some this weird place like you have to go and whatever, but you do have to have your stuff configured in a certain way to even communicate like that. But there's like most of the websites and things that are out there are not accessible just by searching Google or something. And they have all this stuff, and it's up sometimes and it's not up sometimes. And the address wouldn't be anything that you would just spell out and think of normal. So and that's where neural monitoring lives, is on all these other people's stuff hidden, and some of it's hidden in plain sight. And those broadcast advertisements, if you could figure out like the right method to process those kind of things. One time, I watched this girl, and she was using some program on a Windows computer, but she was accessing it through PowerShell, and it was like this grainy static. Okay, and she would run this grainy static program, and I wasn't supposed to be seeing this, but she would run this grainy static program over a photo, and in that photo, it would it would start to make out the the whatever the IP address, or the address, or the whatever the advertisement was, and this is how she was getting the information to know what she was looking for, as far as like, and this was somebody that was targeted, that started to mess around with some gang stalkers, and she ended up hooking up with a few of the gang stalker guys, and then I think they were giving her like a lot of tips about how to do this and that or whatever, and then she ended up like hacking into all of my stuff. And but I'm 007 about this stuff, man. I'll be out there like an agent, really. Sometimes trying to. I don't really associate with anybody anymore, and I just kind of isolated myself away from all of those kind of people. But at one time, I was very involved with going around and trying to, infiltrate all kinds of stuff. And I ended up like copying some files and this and that, and turns out it was this girl had literally had video of that, what I was just telling you about, that static grain program and the PowerShell, and also accessing my phone. I don't know why she would put it on video, but she was accessing my phone through the PowerShell using my Gmail address, and somehow that's had her all the way into my phone. And I was blown away by this. But I did, after she knew that I got those videos, and I had no more trouble out of her. But it didn't quite lead me to where I needed to get was try to get neural monitoring. All right, let me read some of these questions. Like the broadcasting. Let me see if might have skipped a few. Morgellons. Somebody's talking about Morgellons. Um, yeah, okay. Somebody says I have Morgellons, and that's something like, and I see the people will go around in all the targeted videos, and they'll say, "You have to check out this guy. This is the best channel. Look out for Charlie." All right, and I went one day and checked out a few videos, and it was this guy was explaining how there was these microscopic worms crawling in and out of our skin, and that we have this disease called Morgellons disease, and apparently, I guess, supposedly he had some cure for the disease or something. It was just a bunch of BS, and I was like, okay, so when people come on my channel, my comments, and I mean, it's not the worst place to try to spam something like that because I got right at 11,000 people now. Um, so, you but I'll delete that kind of stuff. Like, you don't come on your spam and stuff like that, especially spreading something about Morgellons disease. Like, I don't believe in Morgellons disease. And if it is a thing, I haven't really researched it because I've heard enough right then. If it is something real, it's definitely not what we have. And it's not some little worms crawling in and out of your skin that we have that somehow causes neural monitoring. That don't even make no sense to me. So I'm not trying to attack you or insult you or anything, but if it is a real thing, then I'm sorry to hear that you have it. But as far as neural monitoring, it doesn't have anything to do with neural monitoring. Um, let's see. Growing legit. I still can't wrap my head around how after a lot of years, and it's like they've been here every second, every day. I know, right? It's if you notice, sometimes um, they act very uh, like bizarre, almost like out of touch with reality. And the example that I've used in the past is like if you know somebody that's like blackout drunk and they're just like kind of doing subconscious things, like maybe that's how they really feel, or or like on too many Xanax or something. Um, and that's how these gang stalkers act sometimes. And the reason is because they're asleep. And even though they're asleep, they can wear their mind control thing and live as this broadcast. So for them, they don't really sleep because when their physical body, when they go to sleep, they they can be on mind control. And so in their mind, it's like a dream. But in reality, that dream is really happening because they're controlling this broadcast while they're sleeping. So even when they're awake on like broadcasts, like they're always kind of asleep. Like if they're really seriously on mind control and controlling a broadcast, they call it being catatonic. And I'm sure there's levels of it that I'm not 100% accurate about, but just hearing them talk and the different things that they've talked about and having the experience for like 10 more than a decade, that's what's going on. I think a lot of the time is that they're asleep, because you can tell when they're not really coherent, and they get, if they're abusive person, they get more abusive because there's subconsciously it's just what they want to do is be abusive. But the 24/7 thing, yeah, that's how. And don't discount the fact that one person, and I'm not saying you don't know who's who, because I would get people telling me this, but one person can use, five people's different voices, or five people can use one person's voice setting. Okay. And before I get all of the type of comments, well, how do you know this? Even if somebody's using a voice setting, if it's not really theirs, you could kind of tell, especially like once you like, if you know the people, or if you've come to know the people but from being on your channel for years and years, even if somebody tries to do their voice, like you can tell that it's not like you can almost tell who it is actually trying to do the voice setting. So just like when you hear Donald Trump or Elon Musk on, the short video talking in AI voice, you can tell that it's not really them. And, um, so and before you say, I don't believe that it's AI because they're um, they're very reactive, and like the personality of each person, you get to know them. And people that think like it's AI, I understand that there's a lot of reasons you might think so, especially the reason that they can be on this like 24/7. But and if you have a lot of them and you've had a lot of experience with this, you'll notice that it's not all of them that are like that. It's a very select few that'll just stick around forever. And that's what we've been talking about, is how those ones really have like the addiction problem, and they love the way your mind works, and they may never leave. They may never leave because to get off of your connection would be like a downgrade, like who wants to downgrade? Um, though their life's just not that good, I guess. Um, quite a few comments coming in. I think they're messing with our hair, using it as antenna. Um, well, I think that certain parts of your head is probably where the waves of like whatever you're emitting, whatever you're letting off, it probably comes mostly from certain areas. Okay, so I believe that with their broadcast to receive the best, like they would have to probably focus in on a certain area. And a lot of times, like I can feel certain places, that are hot. And I think that it causes hair loss, honestly. I really do. I think that, um, that it causes stuff like that. Um, Sarah says, I believe this is the problem. This is how we get gray hair. Yeah. I mean, maybe we're just stressed out. Maybe, maybe we're getting a little older, or maybe it is them. I'm not discounting what you're saying, because, I agree that they're causing a lot of things that may not be happening otherwise. Um, Michelle says, I don't buy into the Morgellons being relative to neural monitoring. Yeah, it doesn't. And that's just what I heard the one guy saying on his videos. But a lot of people seem to come and, but when they come on to the comments, you'll notice, like you'll see them in my comments every now and then. But it's like so generic. It's like, hey, want to find out the solution to the targeting this and that, you got to go check out this channel. And it's like this generic little comment, almost like a spam or something. And I'm like, nah, just, and I block them. Like, why would you anyway? If like if we're like on collaborations or something like that, like, okay, but why would you come to like the real channel and then uh try to spam people to come to your channel where you really got the answers? I'm not claiming to know all the answers. I'm just telling you like what I do know about how they operate. And like, because I know in the beginning it would have been like so beneficial for me to find somebody that was talking about like all the reality of it, and not like, not the uh what is the thing you hear, like the chatterbots and Morgellons and just the all the different things that people talk about, the the agents from the FBI and all this stuff. And like, man, I've had so many experiences that just solidify everything that I'm talking about. Plus, I knew some of the people. I've ran into people that have neural monitoring that don't even really use it for gang stalking. Like I've had people that I thought might try to help me before, like to get my neural monitoring, and and that may still happen, and I will never like put those people on blast because there's a few people that I know that have it, and there's some political reasons within the circle that I'm dealing with that is some reasons why I guess that I can't get it, or they don't want to get involved, or they're going to sit it out or whatever, because the channel is a big part of it, I think, because I'm public, and it's not something that's supposed to be talked about, but you're telling that to a victim of it who gets tortured and genitals attacked every day, and my knees and broadcast in my neck and all in my eyes, and I can't take a night's sleep without waking up with broadcasts all over my abdomen when I wake up and I can hardly move, and I'm like an active person, like in pretty good shape and all that, like it's hard to say, oh yeah, like I would just quit talking about it or something. Like I understand, like if I had neural monitoring, not that I would ever be a gang stalker, but believe it or not, most people that have neural monitoring are not gang stalkers. It takes a certain type of psychopath to do what they do. But if I had neural monitoring, I'm sure I wouldn't be on here talking about it. Um, and I probably would have never been targeted. But to be on the other side of it, it's a whole different thing. Where we're at. Um, and I think I've made a lot of people angry, and I've probably made a lot of progress towards spreading the knowledge, or the awareness, at least that it exists anyway, or at least get people thinking about it, because it's pretty unfathomable for the people that have never experienced it to try to wrap their head around. Like, you guys know, try to explain this to somebody who's not targeted. They're going to look at you like you need to go to the psych ward or something. um Sorry, I'm not really able to keep up with uh all the comments, guys. I'm talking too much. um I have sparkles coming out. um if you're thinking you have like sparkly things, or like Morgellons and stuff like that, take a super bright flashlight and use it on those areas, and see if it doesn't just disrupt that broadcast and make it get off of you, because it could overpower, like lasers and super bright flashlights. And that can disrupt their broadcast and get it off of you temporarily. They'll put it right back if they want to, but use the green laser on it. Use the green laser on it. That's very focused for us, just a pinpoint area. But it disrupts the green laser can disrupt their broadcast really bad. But it's only going to disrupt their broadcast in that focused area. A super bright LED can kind of get them off of you, like better than like water, or you can't wipe the stuff off. Not like you could do like that and wipe it off. It just stays on you. But the light can like clean it off of you, and it's because it's broadcast waves, and the light interferes with the light. Waves interfere with waves if they're not the same wavelength. Um, um, yeah. I mean, what I've noticed is that a lot of the people that become gang stalkers seem to be people that like drugs, and like Adderall and drugs, and that they like to stay up a lot. And um, but in general, those type of people, you might notice that they lean towards narcissism, and wouldn't go as far to say that they're all narcissists, but being in that state of mind for an extended period of time, they kind of start to lose touch with the alternate thought process, which would be like normalism, I guess. And um, it seems that the people that are gang stalkers a lot of times have drug problems and a lot of times are narcissistic. And I think that those all those things are synonymous or whatever. So um, I think the narcissism, it could just, somebody can just be a narcissist, okay, but I think the drug problems lead into more um, serious narcissism where they don't even realize that they're being that way. And it's just the way that their thought process starts to lead. And also, all of that goes perfect with gang stalking and being awake a lot and being on mind control and using broadcast stuff. It just all seems to go together for them. But it's definitely the best idea is to just stay away from all of it. And I think there's a process. If you wanted to learn enough to get it on your own, it would take like a lot of computer science or physics as far as like light spectrums and um, stuff like that. But you could definitely do that. Um, should post a URL. Uh, Let me see if I can. I think I lost the conversation. You guys are having a whole conversation here, I think, or maybe you're commenting on what I'm talking about, but I'm kind of lost, so I don't really know what you mean. Yeah, I like to dance and I like music. Music is great for everything, especially you get some good music. Turn it up. Oh yeah, yeah, sure, yeah. If she wants to know your channel, yeah, post it. Post your link. I don't mind. Um, oh, I was talking about the other guy. Yeah, I mean, people that come on to my stuff like spamming, like basically trying to, like, like if I went over to the McDonald's and set up a cheeseburger stand outside, like don't you don't do stuff like that. But yeah, you can post your link to her. I don't mind that at all. But some of these guys that have a channel and they're like pushing ideas and trying to, and I really don't like when people are trying to take advantage also. Like there was some guy a few years ago that was selling a few people in the community, and I could call it a community, our little groups and everywhere that we talk, and there was some guy that was selling a few people like these magneto helmets for like $800 or something. I was like w- w- yeah, I just stop doing stuff like that, because people were paying this guy $800 for a magneto helmet. And I ain't gonna lie, like in the beginning, like I used to try everything. I put this one time I put this helmet on, and it was like a derby helmet, like if you're riding a horse in a derby or something. It was a derby helmet, and I put this helmet on, and at one point I had put these neodymium magnets all around it, and I tried all kind of weird stuff like that to try to keep them from, and I wasn't trying to keep them from attacking me. I was trying to keep them from knowing what I was thinking. But I tried a bunch of weird stuff like that. It just doesn't work. It just really just doesn't work. I mean, I've been in an underground train tunnel, like below the earth, and all kinds of stuff, and they could talk to you, and they could know what you're thinking, and all of that. It's like I've been 40,000 feet in an airplane, and they can talk to you and attack you and know what you're thinking. And it's just this satellite broadcast stuff is it could just be everywhere, and it's like triangulated. So it's like it's not like a beam coming from here that just comes to you. It's like they can use several bunch of satellites, triangulate a position, and just have the broadcast there, boom, right there. And it doesn't have to come from like a directional thing. Um, so let me say one more thing. What are you talking about? You guys are talking about. Uh, I don't care about Cash App. Money is fake. Yeah, don't let nobody Cash App scam you or nothing weird like that. But I don't know what you guys are talking about. But anyway, I'm gonna say this one more thing, and then I'm gonna hop off of here. But there is something called like an EMF setup. Okay, and EMF people or mind control people or gang stalkers, which are those as well. So, like a gang stalker would be like um, an EMF person or a mind control person that uses it maliciously. Okay, just an EMF person is somebody that's very interested in the technology and how it all works. And a mind control person would be like somebody that just loves to get on mind control and connect to other people, to receive other people's neurological processes, or to control a broadcast, to live remotely while their physical body is in one place. But um, and all of those things are categorized into like neural monitoring. Okay, but an EMF setup. All right, people like some people will get like this is a clue for you guys. All right, the old um, projector TVs, like the old big screens that are square from like back in the day. If you see two or three of those smashed up and somebody's taken apart in somebody's backyard, and anything about them people, like they may be, yeah, they are people with neural monitoring, because what they'll do is take those apart, and they take the lenses and the screens and stuff out of them, and they use those things for their EMF setup. So they might have like certain kind of lights going through certain kind of lenses, and those things have the lenses that are like the primary colors, so it can colorize waves. All right, and they'll use those, and then a screen or like some sort of tinted glass can work well and stuff like that. And I don't know the exacts of it, okay, but I'm just putting you on to some knowledge about the direction you might want to proceed. And this is on the physics side. This is on the light spectrum side. Okay, if you wanted to build some kind of weird setup like that, all right, and they could broadcast something, and you can pick that up on with those lights and lenses and screens and glass and different things. And like you know you might take like a light that rotates around like a certain way, and that would like cause the broadcast to like play, or even rewind. You can even rewind broadcasts, and that's not like if they're living on mind control, living as a broadcast, walking around or something. That's like if they're broadcasting something that's pre-made, like it could like even a movie or anything like but it would be like most likely it would be like a EMF um, stream that they've done before, and then they would broadcast it to you. But they got tons of content out there like that, okay? And these EMF people like to um, use broadcast in that way and receive. And some of them are like mad scientists, and some of them are probably very cool people that just love the technology. It's like almost like I used to know a guy a long, long time ago that was into like satellite stuff, and I need to find him. He might know about this kind of stuff, but he was into like pirating satellite signals, and like he was able to receive all these different things and program different stuff, and it was um but some of these people that are like that, they're more like into the scientific side of it. They're not into like gang stalking, going around trying to torture people like these idiots I deal with every day. These are like probably more like cool people, you know. And um, if you wanted to go down the physics pathway and start learning about that kind of stuff and dig into that, okay, and this is like the type of stuff that a gang stalker or even a EMF person, they hate me for this kind of stuff, okay? But they all know that my position. They all know my position. My position is that I got these idiots that have been torturing me every day for a decade or more, and so I talk about it publicly because I'm allowed to talk about it publicly because I'm a victim of it, and I've got the guts to come out public and talk about it. So it's a big no-no in their world to talk about these kind of things, but I'm not in their world. You know, I'm on the outside looking in, and I'm under attack constantly, and I don't like it. Okay, but that's the physics side of it. The everything they do is on the internet, revolves around the internet. When they're accessing all of this, these sites or if they have programs that are like linked in through their command line or whatever. However they're doing it, it's all on the internet. Okay, so the other aspect of it is computer science, and that's kind of the pathway I've been taking. But um, my main pathway is just to live good, man. Love my people and have goals and make progress and try to live a good life. But the computer science and the learning as much as I can about everything all the time, and the physics side of it, I don't overload myself, but I definitely want to learn as much as I can, and it is all very interesting to me too, really, to be honest. But so that's what I'm gonna leave you guys with. I appreciate everything. Sorry I couldn't get to all the comments, but um, it's time for me to kick back, get some rest, and then do it all again tomorrow. So hopefully these attacks won't be too bad. Hopefully it's not too bad for you guys. Um, thank you everyone for watching. Thanks for participating. I know it's like a odd hours. Feel like I got a nice crowd here, but anyway, thank you guys for all the support for the channel, and I will see you on the next one.